Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Deborah, and I'm just a grandma that loves the Bible and I love Jesus, and I want all children to know Jesus and to come to the saving knowledge of his love and to become Christians. So I'm going to tell you stories from the Bible. It's very important to read the Bible every day because then you know God. You learn the things that he wants you to do and the things that he doesn't want you to do. So we're going to read stories from the Bible or tell stories from the Bible and how they apply to us today. So today I'm going to tell you the story of Samson and Delilah. It's a story in the Old Testament in Judges chapter 16. And it's about a man who had superpowered strength that came from God. Samson was born to Manoah and his wife. They don't always tell us the wife's name. Well, she could not have children for a very long time. And they prayed and prayed about it. And God said, if you will take a Nazirite vow and never drink wine and never eat grapes or anything fermented, I will bless you with a child. And he is to never cut his hair. And so they were so excited they were going to have a baby, and they had Samson, and he grew and grew into a man. They never cut his hair. By the time he was a man, he probably had very long hair. So Samson's girlfriend's name was Delilah, and all she cared about was money. The Philistines, who were always against the Israelites, came to her and said, Delilah, if you will find out how Samson gets his strength so we can stop that and he won't beat us in battle, then we will pay you a lot of money. And so she said, okay, I'll do it. So she went to see Samson, and she said, Samson, please tell me how you get your strength. And he said, oh, if you tie me with thongs were the leather part of the sandals in Bible days, then I'll lose my strength. So she told the Philistines, and they came, and when he was asleep, they tied him up with all these thongs. And she came in and woke him up and said, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. And he woke up and he busted out of the thongs, and that wasn't how he got his strength. He didn't want to tell because they weren't supposed to tell. So then she said, Samson, you made a fool of me by lying to me. Tell me for real how you get your strength. And he said, if I am tied with ropes that have never been used, then I will lose my strength. So she told the Philistines, and they went out and bought a whole bunch of new ropes that had never been used. And they came back, and when he was asleep, they tied him up. You'd think Samson would be on to her by now, but he wasn't. So they tied him up, and Delilah said, oh, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. And so he woke up and busted out of the ropes. And she said, you lied to me again. And he said, oh, for real this time. He said, if you weave my hair into a braid and tie it to a loom, pin it to a loom, I will lose my strength. And so, of course, he falls asleep, and the Philistines come in. They braid his hair. They pin it to a loom. And, of course, Delilah comes in and goes, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. And so he wakes up and he unpins his hair from the loom and busts away from the loom with his braids. And she said, you said that you loved me. If you love me, why do you lie to me? And he said, because I'm not supposed to tell. But you know what? Samson didn't mind. And he went ahead and told her. He said, a razor has never been used on my hair. I have never cut my hair. And so this time the Philistines came in and they shaved his head. And not only did they shave his head, they gouged out his eyes. They blinded him. And he for sure lost his strength then. But they weren't very smart, because they put him in a prison where he had to push a mill around to grind grain. His hair began to grow. So as it grew longer and longer, he told God, please trust me this one last time, Lord. I'm sorry that I told them and I wasn't supposed to. So the people, the Philistines that had him captive, they said, let's make fun of Samson. Bring him out, that bald-headed, blind guy. And so they brought him out to put him in front of everybody and make fun of him. And he stood where these columns were, and he put his arms on the columns. He was so strong. They did not realize his hair had grown back, and God had given him back his strength. So while he was there, he prayed to God, and he said, God, please give me my strength one last time. And he pushed down the columns, and the whole thing caved in, and it killed him and all of the Philistines. And here is a picture of Samson pushing down the columns. Boys and girls, you know it's very important to do what God says. And we all make mistakes. We all sin. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you need prayer for anything, leave a word in the comments and I will pray for you.